Okay, so in this video I'm just going to show you how I made that terrible surface, and I'm going to show you better than I did in class, a little bit more organised. So I'm just creating my bit of fabric. Let's say we'll make it 1.5 meters by 1 meter. Just chuck in some subdivs, maybe 60 by 25, no, 60 by maybe 35. Just, you want to keep it nice and square like that. So just going to rotate this guy up. I just want to have it, just going to double check. Oops. Yeah, so we've got it. Yeah, it's facing the front now. So voila, here's our bit of cloth. So I'm going to just go to end cloth, create end cloth, just double check my space scale, turn on my plane, falls down, maybe I'll turn up my substeps, bit better quality, falls down. Now, I do apologise that my computer is a lot slower to solve, so it might be a little bit annoying to watch sometimes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is set up some dynamic constraints to hold it in place. So I'll just go end constraint, transform constraint on this side, and then I'll grab the cloth again, do the same thing on this side, transform constraint. So now when I play, my fabric's going to be held at the edges. Now this is way too stretchy. I don't want it to fall so much. So I'm actually going to grab my cloth, go into my presets here, and I'm just going to set it to t-shirt, which is just like preset for like a cotton sort of fabric. So now, theoretically, yep, it won't. It'll just be a bit stiffer. And that's just because it's just the aesthetic I would like for right now. Alright, so now we've got our two dynamic constraints. It's a good habit to sort of rename them so you know what each one is. I'm going to call this one dynamic constraint right. Also going to go into this channel box and just scale it up a bit so I can actually see the little pointer a bit better. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not showing because I haven't got everything showing here. So I'm just going to go show all. Now I can see I've got this cross here, that's my right dynamic constraint. Just going to enlarge, rename, oops, left, not light. And I'm just going to scale that one up as well, just so you can see it in the viewport. Now if I key these guys, so I'll go Shift W to create a key here. Maybe I'll go to 1 second. Move it out, Shift W, play that, and you'll see it's pulling it out like that, to a point where it sort of gets quite stretched and condensed, but it doesn't tear. So I could do the same on the other side, maybe move that one a little bit, just pull that out a little bit, key it. Now they're both pulling from either end, and the fabric is really getting tested, but it can't tear because I haven't told it to. So to do that, I have to set up the points where I want it to tear. So I grab my cloth object again, go back into vertex mode. I'm going to use paint selection, just sort of tell it, you know, roughly where I want it to tear. Now this can be a lot of fun to play with this to get different effects. You know, setting up where you want it to actually tear. Just going to make some more holes, some nice other little holes. So, okay, so now that I've told it where I want it to tear, maybe I'll just add a little bit more detail. So I go back to end constraint and I go to tearable surface. So now, voila, get a pretty cool tearing effect. So So that's a lot of fun to play with. And next week I'll go a little bit more in depth on this. I'll show you how to remove that constraint because it's a little bit flaky. It's just a little bit of stuffing around you have to do if you want to get rid of it, and apply a new one. But overall, that's how you tear something. Obviously, if you want to tear it all the way across, you have to make sure you've got a full line selected down there. But right now, that's just a kind of fun effect to play with. All right.